Hey guys, Wayne here from H2 Tech Videos. Today I'm going to be going over some tips and tricks on the Galaxy S9, S9 Plus. And these are going to be some tips and tricks for beginners. Okay, this is your first Galaxy S device. You're going to learn some stuff today. Alright, real quick, just want to show you, I do have my S9 on a really awesome wireless charger by a company called Doka. And really slim, sleek design, and we're actually giving one of these away on our Instagram, so make sure you follow us on Instagram at H2 Tech Videos and find the post that has an S9 on this charger, and all you have to do is go on there and leave a comment, and that's how you can enter to win one of these awesome chargers. All right, also want to show off this really awesome S9 case from a company called SMAS, and I will leave a link in the description. Really cool little case, has a little slot up here for cards as well, or credit card or driver's license. So wanted to show off that. That's my new case and I am in love with it. All right guys, again, let's jump in and let's learn some tips and tricks on the S9, S9 Plus. All right guys, for our first tip, it's going to be in the app drawer section. Go ahead and swipe up. Now notice I have a lot of apps in this section, probably way too many, so it would be a good idea to try to arrange them into some folders, kind of like how I have it here, just so that I can be a little more organized and not have so many pages. So I can take one app, I'm going to take this business plan app, I'm going to hold down on it, and now I have some options here, add to home screen or select items. If I tap select item, I can tap that one. I can now select the app next to it, and I can basically pick as many apps as I want, and I can put them in an individual folder. The process used to not be this easy. It used to be a lot harder. You had to basically drag and drop each app one by one, but now it's a lot easier. So once you've checked all the apps that you want to check to be in that folder, come up here and just tap on create folder. Tapping that will make a folder. The other cool part about this is that you can actually uninstall a bunch of apps the same way. So I can check a bunch of boxes, you know, this, and that, and then I can hit uninstall, and guess what? It's going to uninstall multiple apps at one time. So it actually makes the process a lot faster than it used to be. It used to take a lot longer to select multiple apps than to do each one. So for this one, I'm just going to create that folder like I originally intended to. And I could also name it, you know, business. I'll just name it biz or busness. And now I have a new folder for that. So the main tip there is just an easy way to organize all your apps in the app drawer section. All right. So our next tip is going to be a cool way to customize your phone. So by holding down on the home screen here, you'll have two options. You'll have your wallpaper and you'll have themes. If you go to themes, you get a lot of cool stuff in here. You get a bunch of custom wallpapers that are some made by Samsung and some are submitted by a bunch of other third parties. You've got free apps, or it can be free wallpapers, and you've got paid wallpapers, but basically a lot of options to customize your phone. So there's that. You have full themes. So these are not just wallpapers, these actually change the look of your phone. Your call app will be different. Your text messaging app will be a different color. It changes every element of the phone. Just for example, if I tap on space theme here, and let's say I tap on this one right here. What's cool is it shows you a preview of what all your screens are going to look like. So this is going to be your home screen. This is the lock screen. This is the call app, but again, everything looks different. This is your contacts and your text messages. And your notification panel will be different colors. Some of them also will change the fonts as well, and some will change the app icons. So as we can see here, all your app icons are different as well. So this is a really cool way to customize your phone, is just go through all these different themes, and there's a ton of free ones, and there's a lot of paid ones as well that are basically $1, $2, but it'll make your S9, S9 Plus stand out so much different from everyone else's. You also have an icon store, so you can, you know, just change your icons to specific things, and you have a bunch of options for your always on display. Kind of like this one actually. I might download that. Oh, well, under this neon section, there's a bunch of options there. So anyway, that's the theme store, and that's just an easy way for you to customize your phone and do a lot of different things there. Our next tip, I love this tip, is how to launch the camera from any screen, even if your phone is off. Just to show you, I'm going to turn the phone off, okay, and I'm on my always on display. Now, just by double tapping my power standby button right here 2 times, it will automatically turn the phone on and launch your camera for you. Now, the cool thing is this doesn't just work from the lock screen. It also works if your phone is unlocked. Let's say I'm in Netflix and I'm watching a TV show. I can easily just double tap. It'll take me out of that app and it'll automatically go to the camera and I can start taking pictures. I love this feature because it just happens a lot where you're doing other things and all of a sudden a Kodak moment pops up and guess what? Oh, where's my camera? Oh, I gotta get to my camera. No need to try to find the app. Just double tap your power standby button and it'll automatically take you there and you're ready to capture that moment. Hopefully not miss it. So that's one of my favorite tips, and Samsung has kept that consistent with just about all their phones. Our next tip is going to come in the notification panel. Okay, so hold down on your home screen here, go to home screen settings, and we have this option. It's called quick open notification panel, and I have it enabled right now. So when you tap this and enable it, you can access your notification panel, which is this section right here. You can have it come down without having to swipe from the top. All you have to do is on your home screen, just swipe down and it'll automatically pull it down for you. So I don't have to reach all the way up here. I can be down here and it'll show up. This is really great for using the phone with one hand because it is a rather big phone. So sometimes you're not holding the phone in a way where it's easy to reach all the way to the top, but you don't have to. You just swipe from here and you can check your notifications and it just makes it a little bit easier. So I like that. Definitely a cool hack for, again, when you're just holding the phone in that kind of awkward way and you can't really reach up there, but you want to see, oh, someone just called me, someone just texted me, I want to see it. Boom, there it is. All right, our next tip is going to be how to change your lock screen app shortcuts. So one thing you'll see when you turn the phone on and go to your lock screen, you have these 2 shortcuts here. So right now I have the phone app and I have the camera. Well, guess what? I don't need the camera there because you know what? I now know about the quick launch camera that I can pull up at any time. So guess what? I want to change that to something I'm going to actually use. So let's go ahead and unlock the phone here. And what we're going to do is go to the settings. I have mine down here, but if yours is not on the screen, just swipe down upper right corner, click on the settings wheel right there. And we're going to go to lock screen and security. And then we're going to go to app shortcuts. And right here we have left shortcut and right shortcut. So I'm going to change the right shortcut. Just go ahead and tap on where it says right shortcut. And I'm going to pick a different app to make as my shortcut. So let's see. What app do I use a lot that I would want to be my shortcut on the home screen? I probably would say text. So I'm actually going to make the app Duolingo, which is a Spanish learning app, because I have been actively trying to learn Spanish, and so maybe having it on my lock screen will be a good reminder to, you know, make sure I do my daily lesson. And then for my left shortcut, I want it to be something a little bit funner. I think I'm going to make it YouTube because I watch a lot of YouTube, so it'd be nice to just have a shortcut right to YouTube. And now when I turn my phone on, I can just swipe right up here to go to YouTube, or I can swipe here to go into my Duolingo app. There we go. Still make sure you unlock it. Use my biometric here. And it's going to take me into my Duolingo app. All right, so there is that. we're about halfway through. We have a few more to show you guys. The next one is a really important tip to know, and you're going to be using it a lot once I tell you about it. Let's go ahead and swipe down, and then you're going to pull down again to access all of your notifications. And this is in what is called the notification panel. These are your notification switches. Okay, so a really important switch is your power saving switch. You may notice that when your phone is the battery is draining a lot, or maybe you're just gonna be somewhere for a while and you don't have a lot of battery power left. You want to try to conserve as much of it as you can, right? So if you hold down on the power saving button, or actually not hold down on it, actually yeah, do hold down. You can do this two ways. That's why I'm sort of going back and forth here. I can just tap on power saving, and I can just immediately turn on medium power saving mode, which is gonna turn off some of the background functions that are working so that your phone will last longer and it won't have as much stuff running. So that's sort of the medium setting, and you would just hit apply, and it shows you if you apply it now, it's gonna add an hour and 12 minutes to your battery life, which is awesome. But there's some situations where like you are desperate. You might be at 20% and you might say, hey, I'm not going to be able to charge my phone for the next 3 hours. I got to make sure my phone does not die. In that case, you want to do this. Swipe down, swipe again, hold down on power saving, and you can go to max power saving mode, which is right here. So tap on that. With max power saving mode, it turns off almost everything in the background except for your cellular service, your data. All that stuff stays on, but your phone is restricted to very specific things. And in this mode, you'll see if we put it in this setting, I'm gonna get an extra 13 hours of battery life. That's right, but you're limited. So you can still call, you can still text, you can still check email, you can still go online, but you're restricted from all the apps you can use. You're limited to only certain apps. But when I tell you this works, it really, really works, to the point where if you're on 20% and you turn this on, you might get like an extra 12 hours of battery life. And guess what? You might be in a situation where you need to stretch that battery that long, and guess what? This would be the option to get you there. So you would just go ahead and tap apply now, and that would put you into the what is called maximum power saving mode, and what used to be called ultra power saving mode. All right, guys, for our next tip, it's going to be in the same place as the last tip that we talked about, which is swiping down, swipe again, holding down on the power saving option. And what this also does, which I didn't mention in the previous tip, is that this actually takes you to the battery section of the settings, which will allow you to do two really important things in my opinion. The first thing is you have an option called Save Power, which is it'll show you the current apps that are running and all the battery power that they're using. You may not even realize that you have so many apps running at one time. Some of these apps you might have like opened and like, you know, jumped to something else like hours ago, but they're still draining the battery. So you can go ahead and tap Save Power, and then it's gonna basically put those apps to sleep so that when you're ready to go back to them, you can, but they're not gonna be actively running in the background, draining more of your battery than they need to. That's the first thing. The second thing is, let me actually take this off of the charger for a second here. It's gonna show you how much battery life you have left. So at this point, I'm on 47%. The phone is telling me, hey, at this rate, you're gonna have 5 hours and 24 minutes left of battery. Sorry, trying to clean up the focus here. So I'm gonna have 5 hours and 24 minutes left of battery life. And I can also tap on battery usage, and I can see specifically what is draining so much of my battery. So in this case, it's the screen. The screen is taking 13%. It's taking 13% of my battery in the last, you know, so many hours. So I may want to make a tweak to my screen so that it's not taking up so much power. So you may want to just swipe down, swipe again, tap here, and you may want to turn off your auto brightness, because this is a huge drainer on battery. what your phone is constantly doing is it's constantly adjusting the screen based on the lighting in the room that you're in. Or if you go outside, guess what? Now it's going to adjust the lighting for outside, which is great. And if you're going to be outside, I do recommend turning on the auto brightness. But if you're not going to be outside, I don't think it's important to keep it on. I think it's better for you to just adjust the brightness based on the room that you're in yourself, because that will prevent your phone from having to work so hard to constantly adjust the screen brightness, and therefore you will get more battery out of it. So that's just my opinion there. I'm going to hit done, and just remember that power saving button is also your shortcut to the battery on the phone. So that's just a great resource to use. All right, let's actually go back and we'll jump into our next tip, which is right now you currently don't see the home button. You'd have to swipe up in order to see the home button, but you're actually able to just hard press right in the center area and it will still take you home even if you don't swipe up. So let me show you what I mean. If I just press down, it'll take me home as if the home button was there. It kind of happened quick. Let me do it again. So right now we don't see the home button, but I know the home button is usually somewhere around here. So if I just press it a little bit harder, it'll still take me back to the home screen. That's the other tip, is you don't always have to just swipe up and then hit the button. You can just hard press and it'll take you home. So that's a cool thing. My Note did that. I didn't even know it. I didn't even notice it until I got this phone, which is so crazy. How did I miss that? But either way, there it is. Really cool little tip, and you're definitely going to use that one, I'm sure of. All right, our next and last tip, and we've gone over a couple, and forgive me if the video is going long, but I just want to show you guys all these cool things that I have discovered in using the phone. So this isn't the last one. This is the second to last. So I'm going to swipe down and swipe one more time to this section, and these are our notification switches. Now, one thing you'll notice is that I kept having to swipe and then swipe again because there were certain switches that are not shown when you swipe the first time. But I can change that. I can change the order of all the switches here so I can have all the important ones show when I swipe down. So upper right corner, right next to the wheel, you'll see 3 dots. Tap on the 3 dots here and then tap on button order. Once you do that, I can change the order of what apps show. And if you notice, when you first swipe down, you're able to see 6. So the first 6 are the ones that are going to immediately show up when I swipe down. So guess what? I don't fly too often, so I don't need to have airplane mode in my top 6 here. I would rather have my power saving. So I'm going to hold down on that. I'm just going to drag it over. And now my power save mode will show up when I swipe down. So to me, it's better to have that than to have airplane mode. And you've got some other cool options here. You have weather. You have an option that will show you your storage, so you can see how much of it you have left. Let's see here. I want to keep all of these. The auto rotation is probably the other one that I would be okay with moving. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this down here. And I want to drag up the weather. Just going to hold that and I'm going to move it so that, again, it's in the top 6. And you know what? I want my flashlight to be all the way to the left so that when I swipe down, I know I can get right to my flashlight if something happens and I need to use the flashlight. So now that you're done, go ahead and hit done. And when I swipe down, these are my 6. Flashlight, Wi-Fi, sound, Bluetooth, power saving, and then this 6th option, which is, that's weird. I thought I moved something else there. Let's hit this. Oh, this was the weather option. I think it's not showing because I haven't set up the feature yet. So I do have to set up this weather. Let's see here. You have to just allow it to basically use your location in order to pull the weather. And once we enable that, if I swipe down, this is actually pretty cool. I hadn't really played around with it yet, but it actually shows you that it's gonna rain and it's gonna be stormy. Kind of hard to see it from that angle. I'm going a little bit closer and I'll clean up there we go. So see, it shows a little cloud and a little thunder icon, which is very reflective of the weather outside. So that's kind of cool. And now you can't see the phone, but now you should be able to. All right. So there is that. And our final tip, you're like, man, this guy is still talking. If you're still here, I hope you're learning some cool stuff. Do me a favor, leave a link in the description, not a link, leave a comment in the description and tell me which tip you like the best, that you found the most helpful. Let me go ahead and do that. All right, here's our final tip, and you're gonna like this one. It's in the text messages. We're gonna go to our text messaging app, and sorry you can't see a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff blurred out. But basically you have this option that will allow you to pin an important contact to the top of your list here. So right now I have my wife pinned to the top so that no matter what, even if I get new text messages, she will always show up right at the top here. But maybe I say, oh, okay, this number right here, or let me find a random number in here. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick a random text message. This text message right here, if I hold down on it, let's see, there we go. Okay, so if I just long press on a contact here, it'll basically put a check next to it. Upper right corner, click on the 3 dots here, and I'm gonna tap pin to top. And then if I swipe all the way back to the top, you're gonna see that message right underneath, you see. So it's kind of cool. It now will always keep this message at the top. So even if I get other text messages, this person is so important that they're always gonna stay at the top. And again, for the people that you text the most, I would say go ahead and just pin them at the top so then you can always see them. And also maybe you have a message from them you haven't opened yet. You can also see, oh, I need to respond. You know, that person is right there. So just an easy way to do it. If you hold down on it, go back to the upper right corner, 3 dots, you can unpin it so that one won't be there anymore. So that's just another thing to point out as well. Pin the important stuff and you can unpin it if you change your mind about them later. All right, guys, this has been basically 10 tips and tricks for a first-time user or a beginner on the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. We did use an S9 Plus in the video, so just an FYI in case you guys are wondering. I hope you guys did find the video helpful. Make sure you like, favorite, and share if it was helpful. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you also follow us on Instagram at HGTech Videos for monthly giveaways and a bunch of other cool stuff. Take care, guys. Have a good one.